morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
What's happening?
It's going
so
good here.
Exciting! I tell you, it was a lot of energy thrown into this beginning. So let's just.
Yeah, you seem super excited.
Well, the Knicks did get the NBA Cup last night, and apparently Josh Hart thumb. I don't know if y'all caught that or not. It was weird, but I caught it. He put the thumb in Brunson's butt, and Brunson looked back like this, like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, what are you doing, Josh Hart? Why would you do that?" It's weird. That was a weird thing, and it's weird, but it happened.
Well, good thing you're starting it off with porn yet again.
No, that's not porn. That's not porn. That is just inappropriate sports behavior. That's not porn. That's just inappropriate sports behavior. I just thought it was weird.
I look tired. Do I look tired?
You do.
Actually, I'm raring to go here. I have already had to go to drop off some medication for my son in school, and get back in time. And you see that I don't have my big cup of smoothie this morning, so I'm already hitting on all cylinders.
Well, all right.
I'm a little pissed off because, of course, the guy in front of me, the other guy who is in the playoffs, not against me, but in my fantasy playoffs, but the guy who happened to be the other guy who's right ahead of me in the waiver wire chose Mike Evans. I'm like, you're an ass.
I hate that too. I've done that before, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get this guy because I'm pretty high in the waiver priority. No.
But he also made my choice easier on the whole Buffalo Saints thing.
Yeah.
He chose Buffalo's defense, so now I have the Saints defense. So I am now hoping that Cleveland scores 74 points and loses 75-74. Actually, I don't even care if they lose. So, but I would rather Buffalo win that game just because we play them the next week. And if they lose to Cleveland, they'll be much angrier.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I'd be mad to lose to Cleveland also. So
it wasn't Wheaties. I don't eat Wheaties, Donna. I definitely eat Captain Crunch with the berries. So it's Crunch Berries.
Crunch Berries.
So when somebody pees in the Crunch Berries, I ain't happy.
I tell you what, there's nothing better than peanut butter Captain Crunch. That peanut butter Captain Crunch is on point.
You know what? I like all Captain Crunches. So like when we're talking about Captain Crunch, I'm yes, winning all the time.
In the Crunch Berries.
In the Crunch Berries.
Tell me this. How was that Japanese food the other night? That I love those steakhouses, man.
It was last night. Actually, that was last night. My girlfriend's grandson turned 3, so we went to a place called Taku, which is or Taku, or I don't know, Japanese steakhouse, a hibachi type situation, and it was pretty good. It was really good. It was a lot of fun, and he got his presents from me, and he slept with. He didn't even take them out of the box. He got monster trucks, like. Matchbox monster trucks, and slept with them in the box.
Oh, that's
in bed with him. So
nice.
And it's funny because he calls me Paint. I am Paint and no paint. So last night, obviously, I was no paint. So.
That's kind of funny, actually.
So but he does Eagles chants and all this other stuff. Of course, the moment I got the camera on him, he got shy. But he knows the whole fight song and everything, cool. and does Eagles chants. He's been raised the correct way. So. Wow. And it's funny because
he's been raised the Philadelphia way. I don't know if it's the correct way, but it's the Philadelphia way.
So, and there was a 2-year-old also who was chiming in on the other side of the restaurant. So the 3-year-old was screaming at EAGLES Eagles, and the 2-year-old on the other side started screaming back. So it was kind of fun for every other adult in the room.
Can't you just go into a room and not be Philly sports guy? I don't think that's possible.
Well, you know what? Yesterday it was somebody actually said, "Hey, are you that guy?" While we were at dinner. So there was a kid. There was another kid on the other side of the hibachi who I think knew who I was, but because I wasn't painted up, they didn't want to be like, "Are you that guy?"
Yeah.
Kids are usually a lot more shy. Adults don't care. They're like, "Hey, do I see you? Do I know you from somewhere?"
You look familiar.
Right.
Now, where kids don't care is if you're like, they see something broken or you're in a wheelchair. They're like, what happened to you? Then you see their parents like, shut up.
Shut up. What are you doing? Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then, like it says, I rarely show my family life, but that was kind of one of those things. It was like, you know what? Let's do this. It's, kids go a lot more viral than a painted face does. So,
Yeah.
so
That is for sure.
we did it for the clicks.
Yeah. Donna, hey, don't get mad at me, man. Frankie was the one that shared the clip to me, and I saw it, and I told the guys about it. It's not me.
And you thought that was the first thing that came to your mind was I should talk about this thumb. Got it.
Well, you don't see that every day in sports shows or entertainment games, whatever.
I mean,
it was weird.
There's a reason for it.
I know.
Yeah, in fact, it wouldn't have got brought up here at all.
No, but I couldn't let that happen. We had to talk about Josh Hart and the Knicks.
So it was the Spurs versus the Knicks.
Yeah.
Which I also think could very well be a preview of the championship games.
You think the Spurs are going to take out OKC ultimately to get there?
I think that they have a real strong potential. I tell you, I obviously them winning that lottery for Wembanyama and all this stuff. Like I feel like all these lotteries are fixed. Like it's just I don't believe them anymore. You know what I mean? I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
That it's untainted. So that was done purposely. And it was done purposely for Popovich. So I know that guy's like 125 years old and he's not coaching the team anymore, but he is. Who is the coach of that team?
I don't even know the guy's name, to be honest. I know what he looks like. I don't know his name, though.
He was Greg Popovich's assistant for like 3 or 4 years, and then he was the intern.
The one who used to coach the Sixers?
No, not
that guy, right?
No, I don't think so. Hold on. Mitch Johnson.
Yeah. So,
so you think, and like I said, you think the lottery is more of a ruse so the NBA can kind of move players where they want them to go, but use it under the disguise of, hey, it's the lottery type thing.
Yeah, the lottery thing is there's too many ways you can manipulate it. I mean, it should just be if you have the worst record, you get the first pick. Like it's one of the things I like about the way the NFL does it.
Right.
I think that at least that there should be like tiers on the lottery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The top 5, the top, the next 5, the next 5. You know what I mean? Kind of do it that way. But I feel like that they coddled Wembanyama. They did not want him to go to like a place like the Sixers, and that's why they screwed the Sixers. You know what I mean? It's anything they wanted. Like they are still like bitter at the Sixers for doing what they did, even though every other team does it. Just our guys talked about it, and then they put in some asshole who had to create burners accounts all over the place. And
yeah. No, I mean, the lottery thing is just, it's dumb. Like if you have the worst team and they just never win. It's like,
but didn't they put the lottery in to avoid people or teams from tanking? Wasn't that the idea of it? I mean, I kind of understand that part, right? I mean, because you can tank to get the last place and get what you want. So
And you can
But
do
again,
you can do it in the NFL too. I mean, the biggest difference for basketball is your draft has like 8 players, and then beyond that, it's a lot of guys that who cares, right?
right.
Whereas the NFL, the first 2 rounds, most of those guys are going to start,
Right.
or they're at least going to be like for sure on the team. When you get to the NBA draft, you got like 6, 8, maybe 10 players, and then the rest of them are going to be potential G League guys. But I get how you might want to tank for a guy. At the same time, if you're just that bad of a team, you probably need a guy. Like, let's try and make this not the same few teams.
Yeah, I get that too. I don't know where we go.
Yeah, you can tank in any sport. Exactly.
Well, of course, you could tank in any sport. I just think the NBA with the lottery, supposedly, but again, it opens it up for manipulation, right? I mean, because the league can manipulate when they do it. So it's like a catch-22 there. I get the reason why they would do a lottery, and if they did it the right way, the honest way, okay, I get that. But like you said, in fact, I don't know if it's 100% honest.
Well, no, and even if it is, right, the problem with that is if you have a team that's terrible, and they've been terrible, but they can just never win the lottery somehow, and they always end up with like a fringe player pick. You're like, cool. You know what's going to make this team good? Them not playing basketball anymore because you've never given them a chance to get good players. So it's I don't know. I'm not a fan of the lottery setup.
Yeah. I'm kind of on board with Joe there. Like, even when your team's going to go through a rebuilding year, whether it's like through injuries or whether it's just kind of like with the New Orleans Saints situation this year where they were in salary cap hell to begin the year, so you kind of knew they were going to just struggle. I still don't want my team to tank because it's a slap in the face to the fans. Like, you look at the fans, they got to spend all their hard-earned money to show up to these games and invest like their time to watch your team. Like, you at least want them to try. Like, if they're going to try and lose, that's one thing, but like there are certain situations. I think basketball is the worst when it comes to it. There are certain situations when a team is tanking based on the players you're playing in that game. Sometimes you can show up with 7 players and none of these players would play 10 minutes on a normal night.
Well, it's when you have healthy scratches of like all your stars. You show
like
up, you're like, oh, I'm going to see LeBron and Luka, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's the bench player game. It's like, oh, cool. Glad I spent money on that.
And baseball's gotten to that point too, which is even worse, just because when it comes to a baseball draft, you have so many rounds, and the chances of you finding a talented player in round 8 through 20 is slim to none. So you see all these teams like unloading like half their roster at the trade deadline and playing a AAA roster the second half of the season. It's like, well, this is going to be a fun 75 games to watch crap.
I mean, baseball, kind of like basketball, you only have 6, 8 guys that are probably going to immediately make a roster. Everybody else is going to the minors anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's why tanking in baseball is so stupid, just because like they do the draft lottery system now, but it's like you said, like after the top 10 picks in round 1, just like none of these guys are going to be in the majors probably for 3 or 4 years. So what was the point of you tanking for the last 4 months of the season? It's gotten you nowhere.
Yeah, I don't like tanking either. It's one of those where you listen to people complain. They're like, oh, my team is middling all the time. They're 8, 9 wins. It's like, yeah, I would rather have a team that is, in that playoff discussion every year as opposed to just being bad, because just because you got a high draft pick doesn't mean you're going to turn it around. I mean, we watched the Browns have, top 5 picks for 30 years. Mm-hmm. They're still trying to turn it around.
Like a lot of people said the Jets, the Giants, the Raiders, and the Titans were tanking this year. I'm like, they're not tanking. They're just that bad. Like, they just don't have talent at either level, so they just can't win football games, and they just find ways to lose. And bad teams will always find ways to lose.
Oh, for sure. And Donna, the problem when they're tanking is people are still wanting to go watch their team.
Yeah.
And if they're not putting the effort in it, you're not going to watch, right? So, I mean, nobody wants to see a bad product because they're trying to be bad. If they just happen to be bad like the Browns, then it is what it is. But but you at least want to see them out there trying to win.
Hey, curious.
And the NFL is a completely different animal in comparison to other sports.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so it's because you have such a limited amount of games, and these guys do get paid a lot of money, and there is the other team, you know what I mean, that you get to watch against. So it's like, think about every Browns fan, for every game that they won this year, they are trolling the other fan base.
Yeah.
Like, you guys suck worse than us. You know what I mean? That's kind of funny.
Question, Bo. So it looks like Vegas and Seattle are the expansion favorites, and Silver, I guess, is going to make a decision at some point pretty soon. I think after the 26th season.
No, he's deciding in 2026. So when
the
NBA playoffs end this spring is when that decision is going to be made.
Yeah, that's because the end of next year is when the TV contract comes up. So the new TV contract is going to launch with the new teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, Seattle and Vegas are supposed to be the front runners there. It's just there's also been talk about some teams moving, so that'll be the real question on if that also comes through.
I wonder if it goes back to Seattle though. Would they be able to be called the Supersonics again, or
yes,
they do? Okay.
Yeah, so we retained the name. What was weird about it is we retained the name, but not the history.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
OKC rewrote history, so somehow they won a championship back in '79. But so that's a little bit weird. But yeah, we got to retain the image and likeness and all of that.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I knew you had some kind of a funky, weird thing going.
And I would still, like, hey, we won a championship in 1979. We're going to celebrate that and give the big finger to OKC.
Celebrate opening night when they come back.
No question. Like, I want to give the finger to OKC in every possible way at every turn.
So if they bring in two more teams, you're going to go from 30 to 32. Then you're essentially going to probably 8 divisions of 4. So there is probably going to be a massive realignment coming too, because like a team like Minnesota is probably going to get pushed to the Eastern Conference because they're pretty much right there with like Chicago and Milwaukee kind of, and then Central, so they'll move to the East. You'll have another team from the West get pushed to the East, probably Memphis, because they're probably the next.
So that is the conversation, is that the divisions would become like the NFL divisions.
Yeah. Right.
Just because
you'll have the North Division, which would be like Chicago, Milwaukee, Minnesota,
Detroit.
You know what I mean? Like that's that.
I don't see them doing.
I heard New Orleans is not going to probably retain a team. They're probably going to move. I also hear Memphis may also.
That's part of the speculation, also. Yeah.
Memphis, they may move to Louisville because Louisville's trying to get a team.
Yep.
And then New Orleans, they were debating on moving them to Tampa because Tampa was hosting the Raptors for like that 30-some games during the COVID season. And Tampa actually had some very good attendance when Toronto was actually there. So Tampa was actually showing that they'd be most likely able to sustain a franchise down there.
And Donna, I get it. Like, it took me a long time to remember which conference or which division everybody was in when they did the realignment for the NFL.
As long as they don't do it, hockey doesn't go 4 divisions of 8.
Why would they want to move though? Why would they want to move from Memphis to Louisville? I mean, would it be economically better in Louisville? I can't see that.
It's because Louisville is one of the 3 biggest cities in the United States that doesn't have a professional team. I mean, technically speaking, they have the Louisville soccer team for the USL, but the USL isn't the top American soccer league.
It's not MLS, yeah.
It's not MLS. They are one of the 3 biggest remaining cities that does not have a professional team in the 5 major sports. And with Memphis, that is Memphis's only professional team, but Memphis is such a small market. Taking the Grizzlies from Memphis and putting it in Louisville would be a win-win because you still get the fan base from Memphis making a 3-hour drive up to Louisville to watch a game. It's not like you'd kill that fan base. You would just take it out of a smaller market and put it in a bigger market. So then you would have Cincinnati going there, Nashville going to Louisville, Memphis going to Louisville. You'd have 3 major TV markets going to that one city.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't be for just the Kentucky Derby.
Mm-mm. I mean, Louisville's a college town, obviously, because Louisville Cardinals have some of the best athletic facilities for college sports. Like, they are a specific college town, but adding a team, like just for example, the Memphis Grizzlies, moving them to Louisville, now you get your professional team in Louisville, and you're drawing, like I said, people from Nashville, Cincinnati, Memphis, and Louisville would all be going to that game.
Would they switch their name to the Bat Boys?
I think they'd probably keep the Grizzlies the first year, but I think they eventually would end up switching to
the Trotters. Again, I'm trying to, I'm just trying to think, or maybe even the not the Phillies. I guess you could call them the Mares.
The Louisville Stallions.
Studs.
Louisville Clydesdales.
Why do those names sound so damn cheesy, though, man? That's the only thing. It's so cheesy.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to make it like I'm trying to create it so that it's like the Kentucky Derby falls into place. I mean, because Nashville also does not have a basketball team, right? So I mean, Nashville is only 2 hours away.
Yeah, and that's why Nashville's pushing so hard for a baseball team, because they only have the NFL, NHL, and MLS. They don't even have a baseball team either. That's why Nashville's pushing.
They really should find a city that's got a lot of space, and then just build a sports complex like right there in between, right in between, Memphis and Louisville and Nashville, and just put it right there. I mean, they've got a lot of space. I tell you, they got a lot of space around the Kentucky Derby. It wouldn't be that much. I mean, again, that's in Louisville, but I mean, they could do it all right there.
And that's another reason why Tampa's trying to get the NBA team too, because you have the uncertainty of the Tampa Bay Rays, where if Tampa Bay Rays end up relocating,
no, they just fixed that. They just fixed that roof.
They did, but they have a new owner, and the new owner is very adamant in moving the team to Orlando. Which, if you move the team to Orlando, you're only an hour from Tampa Bay. So, I mean, that's not that far. But Tampa's still going to want, like, another major sport in Tampa if they lose the Rays. So that's kind of why they're trying to get the NBA team as basically their insurance policy in case the Rays end up moving to Orlando.
Well, you could switch it to the Miami Marlins, and if you put it in, like, Ocala, something like that, that's, like, halfway between Orlando and Tampa. Problem is that Orlando have the Magic, do they not? It's the basketball team, so you can't
they have
really.
The Magic. But they have, I think they said that the new owner of the Rays just bought massive land in Orlando, so he is planning to build a baseball stadium for the Rays in Orlando. It's just a matter of when he does it.
Got you.
Because then if you get an NBA team in Tampa, then they would just share the same arena as the Tampa Bay Lightning. It just makes it easier.
Right. Well, and that's not really in Tampa either. That's they call it Tampa, but I guess that's like where the Florida Panthers. You can't call them the Miami Panthers because they play in paradise.
Yeah. Baseball just doesn't seem to do well in Florida. Because I've seen from Miami and Tampa, it just doesn't seem to. I don't know if it's the culture that maybe they're more of a basketball or football oriented type of thing. But.
Weather. I mean, yes, you have the retractable roof in Miami, which is never open. But who wants to go to Florida and sit out at 95 degrees with 100% humidity for 3 hours during the middle of summer when you have the ocean and so many other things you can do?
And the reason why he's trying to move it to Orlando is because then you can get families coming in for Disney, where you could be like, oh, okay, you're going to have a 3-game series and watch baseball, and then you have 2 games in Orlando or 2 days in Orlando to go to Disney.
Yep.
So, and that's like a 5-day trip where you can bring the whole family down and it'd be worth it. And, or be like, hey, we're going to partner with not just Disney, but with Universal Studios.
ESPN is also owned by Disney down there too, so then you can partner with ESPN for all that stuff down in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but ESPN is losing a lot of share.
They are.
They used to own the share of everything, and now they don't have. They're losing it left and right. poor decision making and woke culture has been killing ESPN. And it's like, I'm not going to blame the woke culture, but I will say poor decision making absolutely has been doing this in general.
So to answer Donna's question there, the proposed Orlando baseball stadium is basically a 35.5 acre site on International Drive, which is right near attractions like Aquatica Water Park and SeaWorld. So there's like a large area of land behind Aquatica and SeaWorld that SeaWorld owns right now, but the new owner of the Rays is purchasing that land from them.
You know what they called that? The Navy base. It used to be the Navy base. That was where boot camp was.
Yeah.
On International Drive.
It's supposed to be a 45,000 seat retractable roof stadium with see-through glass in the outfield.
They better put it in the right direction so that you don't have the sun blaring down on your face.
The sun would be coming from like third base side and then first base side when it's set. So it'd be coming from the sides as opposed to behind home plate or from the outfield. That's how the design is supposed to be.
All of a sudden, it's a pitcher's park if you can't see the ball.
Yeah.
You want it to be, though. I mean, you look at what they're playing in the minor league stadium right now, the ball flies out of there. Tropicana Field has always been basically a hitter's park because the fences are so short. Like, you want to make that a pitcher's park when you have to face Aaron Judge and some of the hitters you got to face every year.
Yeah, but your guys aren't going to hit either if the sun's in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting because, like Peg said, a big reason for that is the attendance at Tampa has just been so terrible. Even like the year they made the World Series, they still couldn't sell that stadium out for playoff games, which is kind of pathetic and sad at the same time. So moving it to maybe like Orlando and having an opportunity where, all these families are going to be going to Disney, but they're not going to do all these parks every single day. They're going to have a couple days off. That gets them here. The days they don't want to do a park where they can just relax and watch a baseball game. Still close enough where you can leave and do everything else that you want to do.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if it actually works. Who knows?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why in Florida, why wouldn't they just build, and I don't know, Tampa, why wouldn't they just build a retractable roof? I mean, they know how hot it is there. I mean, I don't understand why these people still have these open airs. I get it because it's in the iconic stadiums, but when their new ones are coming out, why not just do a retractable roof? Financially, it just makes more sense to me.
Yeah, but doesn't have the room for it. That's the problem.
For a retractable roof?
Yeah, they don't have the room to like build where they want to build. That's why they have to keep using Tropicana Field because they don't have room to build a stadium where they want to build it.
That's interesting. I was just thinking, why not just tear down the whole stadium and just re-put the new stadium where that stadium was?
Because then they'd have to play at Steinbrenner Field and not have any income coming in. And when you own a professional sports franchise, you kind of want some people to show up.
Because George Steinbrenner Field is not even the Rays stadium. It's owned by the Yankees. So they're not even getting full. Yeah. They're not even getting full revenue right now. They only get a portion of that revenue. The only revenue that I'm aware that the Rays made last year on their home games was concession stand and merchandise sales. All ticket sales went to the Yankees organization because it's their stadium.
Yeah.
So the Rays really weren't making much money anyways because obviously your ticket sales are going to be more than merchandise and concessions.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Donna. I mean, they already play games every Thursdays on Amazon. Netflix they got their Christmas special. So I'm not sure what
Christmas. I mean, they are going to start to hold games. You're going to see.
They're going to try to compete with NBA on Christmas Day.
Well, no, I mean, but Netflix already has that. There's been talk about Netflix trying to get more involved with the NFL as far as getting more games.
I can see him doing it Saturday night.
The way that they have it set up now, right? Because it's going to cost you $1,500 if you actually wanted to watch all the games because it's on, ESPN Plus and ESPN on cable, and you have Netflix and Amazon, and all the different platforms that they make you have if you actually wanted to watch every single game. About the only way they can expand it from now, if they wanted to go the most ridiculous route, it's like, okay, the first half is on Amazon and the second half is on Netflix. I mean, that's about It's about the only way they can make it more ridiculous than it is now.
Mhm.
But it wouldn't shock me if Netflix gets more. They've done a decent job with the games that they've had. They kind of got the bugs worked out on that Tyson fight.
Yep.
And so they figured out how to kind of have their platform survive. And then they're just stealing anchors from major networks anyway when they do their games. So when they did it before, they grabbed a couple people from ESPN and a couple from or CBS. So I mean, it doesn't shock me that they're going to try and get some more people.
And I could see getting to a point where Netflix has like a Saturday night game every week. Because you have Thursday night has Prime, obviously Monday night ESPN. Like NFL's gonna try to get as many games as possible, as many days of the week as possible. Like I think
that would be tough to do because of college football. Like once the college season's over, I guess, but then you're in bowl season still. So like, I don't know. That would be a tough one. I could see it being a Friday game since you already have Thursday games. But
or they do how ESPN does it now, where when you have like the double header nights on Monday night.
If they do that,
where ESPN gets like the first game and then Netflix takes the second game, or vice versa. Netflix gets the first game, then ESPN takes the second game.
No. Like I could see it. Like they had multiple double headers on Monday night. Yeah. I was just gonna say if they do that, they need to do it in succession, not at the same time.
That's yeah.
Because when they're doing it at the same time where there's an hour different start time, is super frustrating. It's because it's like you've now made this primetime game regional, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of that.
That's something I can see.
Just make them in succession, and honestly, East Coast people would probably appreciate that because they don't have to stay up till midnight to watch every game, right? You still have to for the late game. But you would still get football on Monday night if you wanted to watch an earlier game and, catch the highlights of the late game.
Yeah, because the East Coast will lose a lot on that because
I think
nobody stayed up till midnight. I mean, that's
crazy. All the time. What are you talking about?
Do they?
Yeah. The East Coast for Monday Night Football starts at 8:15, man.
No, well, that's true. Yeah, it probably does end about
it's done at midnight. Like that's just how math works.
Being in LA, watching sports
is awesome. West Coast time is awesome.
It is kind of because it's like you get to see like 9 o'clock in the morning. So you get up with your, Captain Crunch, and you could be watching football.
It's the mimosa game. Exactly. You're having breakfast and a drink, and like you get to kick it off, and then your day is done.
Right.
Like sports are done by like 8, 9 o'clock. So
6 o'clock. But then you could actually go watch a hockey game.
Yes.
From 7 to 10.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like I like that. I don't mind that. I actually wish they would start 9 o'clock games in the NFL. The reason why they don't is because of church. They won't allow that for church situations. It's like that's why they, and I guess nobody goes to church out there in the West Coast, so it's
we don't care. We're all going to hell anyway.
There are a bunch of heathens out there running around.
The other thing I could see Netflix doing too, like I think Netflix would maybe try to dive into that idea of like splitting the Monday night doubleheaders with ESPN, but then like how now we're getting to the point where Saturday games, we have doubleheaders on Saturday this week, doubleheaders on Saturday next week. I could see Netflix being like, just give us the Saturday games. Like when we get to that point in the NFL season, just give us.
Well, you get the Saturday games the moment that college football's over. After the Army-Navy game, they go to Saturday games. And you're not going to be far away from Friday night games.
No, you won't.
So especially like they're going to start to do. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix starts to do Friday night games starting after like right around Christmas, obviously, because Christmas is the time. Having these games on Wednesdays suck.
And even the international game too, that I could see Netflix taking like the Brazil game. That was on a Friday night to start the year. I can see Netflix taking that game and just giving the Thursday night season opener to Prime as is, and then just the regular schedule to follow.
Well, speaking of which, when you think about stuff like that, if there is going to be a script with the NFL, if we're going to put on tinfoil hats and talk about a script, expect the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Reason being is that the Eagles and the Rams will wind up facing each other in the NFC Championship game. If that's the case, the Rams will likely also have the number 1 seed or be in first place, and that the Eagles would have to play them on the road next year. And they are talking about having the first Australia game in 2026 being a Rams game. So, again, it would have to be like on a Friday, or it could be the first game of the season on a Thursday, which would be on a Friday there anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because it would be Thursday night, Friday afternoon over there.
Yes.
Y'all see you see the breaking news: Tua Tagovailoa has been benched for Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. I mean, their season's over, so there's quite a few guys that are getting shut down. Jake Daniels shut down for the year.
Yeah.
Tua getting shut down is not a surprise because that was an elimination game. They're officially out. So, like, some of these things, it's like, okay, let's take a look at depth because the season's over. There's no real benefit to having our main guy out there. But
Don, it doesn't matter what you think. I understand that you may think you don't think that the Eagles will make it. Well, it doesn't matter what you think.
And yet,
the Eagles will or they will not.
I was going to say, and yet you're probably also right.
And I honestly think that this could be Tua's last start as a Dolphin.
Really?
Yeah.
There's way too much money owed to that guy. Like, he's going to be there 1 more year no matter what, because he doesn't have outs until after next season. Unless they're just trying to do the Russell Wilson, let me just eat every dollar ever.
They might not have a choice just because Miami plays in Florida, obviously, but every other team in their division every other team in their division.
Last time I checked, you're right. They do play in Miami.
Every other team is a northeastern team in their division. Like, at some point, the Dolphins are going to have to travel somewhere cold, and Tua has yet to win a football game when the temperature is below 40 degrees. Like, you can't expect to go anywhere as a franchise when once you get into October, November, you're going to go places where the weather is cold, and if your quarterback can't win when the weather is cold, you can't stick with him.
Yeah, well, if your defense could effectively get a stop more often than
There you go. Here's the whole thing with Tua.
Jesus.
The deal runs through 2028, includes a significant signing bonus with large cap hits in later years. $56.4 million in 2026, $65.8 million in 2028, and potential contract outs for the Dolphins after the 2026 season.
Exactly.
Though early cuts involve huge dead cap.
Yeah, that's why I said they have to have him for next year because it hurts a lot to lose him next year. They're getting a new GM, right? They let their GM go. It's why Mike McDaniel is gonna have another year at a minimum. Tua's your guy for 1 more year. Just financially, it doesn't make sense to move off him. So you're not going to bring Tyreek back, right? Because you can get out of his contract now. Plus, he was hurt. All of that. So,
there's a more manageable out after the 2026 season.
Exactly.
Costing only $34.8 million in dead cap if they part ways then.
Yeah, which is exactly when they would do it. Like, if they're going to blow the whole thing up, that's when they would do it, is after next year.
I'm surprised McDaniel is getting another year with a new GM coming in, because usually when you get a new GM, they want to bring in, like...
I don't know that he's going to be getting... I don't believe anything that anybody says. Yeah, we trust him. We're going to do whatever we can, and then they fire him the next day.
It just doesn't make sense that you would say he's safe when you fired your GM, knowing that 99% of the time that GM wants to bring in his own coach, because otherwise McDaniel's gone during the GM's first year with the team, and then you're basically restarting in year 2. Like, it just doesn't make sense that the Dolphins didn't even say he's safe. Like, obviously he's safe this year, but it doesn't make sense that the Dolphins would say he is safe for the year, knowing that they were going to fire the GM anyways. Just don't say anything. Fire the GM. Let McDaniels keep coaching kind of with the mindset like, oh, I might be fired this week. I might be fired this week. Like, don't give him the, you're safe this year and whatever, because now you're heading into the offseason. He's like, oh, I'm safe. 2 weeks later, like Peg said, oh, I'm not safe. A new GM is here.
No. I mean, those things can happen for sure. I think it's just because of where these guys are in their contracts.
It's interesting because also I see Saquon, well, not Saquon Barkley. I saw on ESPN where they were talking about AJ Brown possibly could get traded next year.
That's what I was going to ask. Peg.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask Peg.
I could see that.
Peg, does AJ Brown seem out of shape and slow this year? Or is it just me watching him? He just seems like he has lost like a lot of his speed and athleticism running his routes.
I feel like it's no, I don't know that it's that. I look at it more as that he has lost interest.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
He just
think
doesn't.
He's just disinterested in the whole program.
You know, it's I liken it to the same type of situation that's going on with Nick Castellanos and the Phillies. Like that, he just kind of is signed off on the team. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to do what I got to do as a baseball player, and I would love to do a 1-for-1 with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to just say it's not the same situation with Justin Jefferson. Like, at least AJ Brown can still get the football. Justin Jefferson can't even have passes thrown in his direction anymore. So obviously, if I would be losing interest if I was him in that aspect, and it's like, hey, I'm open. Oh, I guess I'm going to just sit here again.
Yeah, so it's like I look at it as, I mean, they've been forcing AJ Brown to get the ball, but the last game, like I said, there were a couple of plays, or against Steven, there were a couple of plays where he just, didn't go all out, and because he didn't go all out, he missed the touchdown.
Yeah,
like 2 touchdown plays, and the one short arm. That's a big one. When you short arm a play and everybody sees it, that's an issue. So,
yeah.
So is he going to be traded? I can't answer that question. Who wants him? You know what I mean? That's the other thing. I'm sure lots of teams would say that they want them, but it's going to be a matter of the price tag.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, Frankie, I was like, maybe New England might want to put the opposite of Stephon Diggs.
Now that Frankie mentioned that, I am not going to be shocked to see the Patriots go after Ja'Marr Chase. Because you have all the rumors and rumblings going on about Joe Burrow is going to try to get a trade. If you trade Joe Burrow, you know Ja'Marr Chase is going to ask for a trade next. And if the Bengals are going to trade Ja'Marr Chase, they're going to want picks. Why not go for the team that has the most picks, being the Patriots? Send Ja'Marr Chase to the Patriots. You get picks. Patriots get their number 1. You line Ja'Marr Chase up with Drake May for 3 years. Because then that's when both of their contracts expire, and then you can figure out what you're going to do from there after 3 years.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to Joe Burrow, you're going to want picks for him too, but essentially we'll just use Minnesota as an example because that's one of the 4 teams that has been linked to him. You could trade Cincinnati J.J. McCarthy for Joe Burrow and picks. You wouldn't have to give up as many picks. Cincinnati would still get a young quarterback where they could essentially take all the picks.
No way is that going to ever happen.
No,
there ain't no chance.
There's the example they used yesterday.
J.J. McCarthy is any bit of a...
No, he's not.
No way that's
Let me give you a backup quarterback and some picks, and you give me Joe Burrow, please.
It was the example they used yesterday where that could be the trade they used to get rid of Burrow as a 1-year, just stopgap, where you at least are getting a quarterback to fill in for next season, whether you suck or not. And then you figure out what you're going to do in the 2027 draft.
Yeah, you wouldn't trade for McCarthy.
Yeah, I think Chase to New England I could see happening just because of the pick situation and how many picks New England has. It just falls perfectly in line with Cincinnati's going to want to do.
Yeah, but how many? Like they have 11 picks. I hear you. Like the
Mhm.
Eagles have 10 picks, so it's not like it's a matter of a big deal with that. Picks are easy to come by right now because there's other teams that are straight out mortgaging their future
Mhm.
to do that. I mean, so when you think about that in a real sense, like how many first round picks does New England have? 2, maybe at the most 3 this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to be down in the lower end. So trading their pick isn't really as exciting as, a top 5 pick.
Great.
Sure.
More breaking news out of the Dolphins 4 minutes ago. They have now released Matthew Judon.
Yep.
So that's one of the better edge rushers for over the past 6-7 years in the NFL. So he's now available to be had for a playoff team if they want to go get him.
Well, it won't be the Cowboys.
They're not a playoff team.
Not with our 1% chance and a shoestring.
It's not even a full 1%, man.
I know, man.
Is it like 0.5?
Thank you for being on my Cheerios a little bit more, Bo. Thank you so much.
It's like a 0.8. It's a 0.8.
So we're gonna floss, right? We're shoestring. We're
you're rounding up a little bit.
I just need the Eagles to lose 3 games. Come on,
The Commanders to win twice.
Come on, Commanders.
Yeah, good luck with that.
No, I didn't. I don't know why the color is a little weird today. Just is for whatever reason. I don't know.
But anyways, yeah, so I don't think that it's going to be a picks type of situation. I think that there is a better chance where you could see AJ Brown traded for it wouldn't surprise me to see like a 1-for-1 going to Cleveland
For Judy?
or Garrett.
Oh, I think Cleveland would want more than that for Garrett. They'd want 1-for-1 plus picks. Garrett is that team right now. They really have no. I mean, Shedeur Sanders might be like the quote unquote savior is what the Browns fans think he is, but Garrett is the face of that franchise, and he is that team.
Wait, which one was this good win again? Sorry.
No, but I'm just saying the way the fans the way the fans feel in Cleveland.
You got to beat good teams.
No,
you
I'm just saying the way the fans
two
feel.
teams going for the number 1 pick.
But I'm saying the way the fans feel in Cleveland, like they've wanted Sanders to start since basically week 3, and it took Cleveland that long to start him. Like Garrett's been the face of that franchise since he's been drafted. Like if you're gonna get rid of him, you're gonna want more than just a 1-for-1.
Yeah, you're not giving up the defensive player of the year and realistically going to be the sack leader for nothing. Like you're not doing that. That'd be dumb.
Yeah, but that's the Cleveland Browns.
Agreed. But I don't think they bungle that part up. I think what they do is they get the picks they need for them, and then they waste them on guys that'll never be anything.
Right.
So would you trade Myles Garrett? Would you trade Myles Garrett and the quarterback that's not playing ever again?
Gabriel?
No.
Deshaun Watson.
No.
I
I wouldn't take a flyer on Deshaun.
Can they release him?
No, I don't want a flyer. I'm just saying you get rid of that mess.
Oh, I would just cut the guy.
Can't you
I
cut him?
wouldn't even mess around. I would just take the cap hit and cut him.
Isn't his cap hit not that bad next year?
It's because they restructured his deal. So basically his contract today now has another 4 years on it.
Yeah. So
it makes the cap hits more palatable.
Yeah.
So basically they redesigned it so that he would, when they ultimately cut him, it doesn't hurt the team so bad. So they did do something smart out of something dumb.
Well, there you go. There's the New York Jets starting quarterback next year, Deshaun Watson.
Just out of curiosity. If they weren't going to trade him, what would it hurt? What would it hurt to play him, get it, and see if he plays well, and if he gets his draft stock, and then possibly people would want to trade for him.
They've already doubled down on the fact that Shedeur's their guy.
You might as well
move off Gabriel.
Yep.
right? Get rid of him. You might as well just be done with the Deshaun Watson distraction.
Yep.
Right? Because just him being in the room is still just a reminder of you doing dumb stuff. So you might as well get him out of there. Just cut him. Eat the $30 million a year that you're going to eat for the next 4 years. You have a rookie quarterback that is on a rookie deal for the next 4 years. So it's just like you have a average priced quarterback, or actually below average. So, I mean, that could work. So, yeah, I mean, you might as well just get some of the distractions out of the building. If you believe Sanders is your guy, just let him be the guy.
You have 2 rookie quarterbacks on that roster. You started Dylan Gabriel for 8 weeks. You saw what Dylan Gabriel was, and he's nothing special because he's not as gifted arm talent-wise as some of these other quarterbacks are. And now you have every other rookie, Shedeur Sanders, who's going to be making, his 4th start or 5th start this weekend?
5th.
You don't take him out when you need to give him reps, because now you're going to go into training camp next year with Sanders and Gabriel on your roster. Sanders is going to be your number 1 when the season starts next year. Like, you need to get him as many reps as possible until the end of the season. So starting Watson does nothing for the Browns or Sanders.
Well, I mean, the problem with Sanders is there's just no middle ground, right? Like, everybody's like, it's either the Sanders fans that are like, he's the best to ever play football. And then there's the haters that are just like, this guy's a total bum and he's trash. And it's like, he's a middle of the road guy, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, his 2 wins are literally against 2 teams that are fighting for the number 1 overall pick. And his 2 losses were bad against good teams, right? He throws 3 picks against the Bears. He threw, I think, 2 against the Niners. I mean, so it's not like he's been great against quality teams. He's played well against bad teams. Okay, awesome. So, yeah, he needs more reps. Do I ever think he's going to be an elite talent? No. Can he be a serviceable quarterback in the league? Sure.
Mm-hmm. And with the Browns defense
anyway.
And with the Browns defense, knowing how good the Browns defense typically is, serviceable quarterback play in Cleveland can get you a playoff berth every now and then.
Absolutely.
It's not going to win you the division. It's not going to get you to the Super Bowl. But, like, if you get serviceable play out of Shedeur Sanders and the Browns defense does what the Browns defense typically does, you can win 10 games a year and get in as a wild card team and then maybe win 1 playoff game and then go out to the next round.
If you are a serviceable quarterback and you have great defensive play, you can win a Super Bowl that way. Trent Dilfer did it.
Yeah.
Brad Johnson did it with Tampa. Brad Johnson did it with Tampa.
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying. You can do it. Like, if you have an elite level defense, which the Browns have had.
Yep.
They don't this year. It's not as good as it's been. But, I mean, over the last 5 years, they've had a top 5 defense 3 times.
I mean, even an old neck fused Peyton Manning got one with the Broncos. He wasn't exactly the version of Peyton Manning. I mean, he had a lot of surgeries.
He was still better than serviceable, though. Like, he was still.
Yeah, he's a little bit better than serviceable, but I'm saying with the next fusion and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not like he
wasn't what he was. For
sure. Right.
He was still better than serviceable.
I would say that you are looking at a Shedeur Sanders that is closer to that. Like Dilfer. Matt Ryan, Trent Dilfer, like he's that guy. Like he can play the position,
right?
But he's not an elite talent, so he needs a lot of other things on the team to be right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just there's so much hype around this kid. People are either like he's the best to ever do it, or he's a bum. And it's like there's this like huge middle area that is probably actually where he lives.
So you're telling me that the legendary chain that he wore should have maybe read serviceable instead of legendary on it?
Hey, I'm not mad at somebody that is building a brand to get some cash. Pretty sure that's what this whole panel does. Like you're out there building your brand to try and make some money. Like I'm not mad at it. Now, when you're not living up to the hype you created, that's where you end up where we are today. You have everybody that's like he's the best, and then the ones that are saying he's the worst. So that is the downside to building a lot of hype is the odds of you living up to it is pretty low, but he can be serviceable.
And I do think Watson gets one more opportunity. And like I said, I think the Jets would be the only team willing to give him that opportunity.
Sure, yeah, another dysfunctional team maybe takes a flyer on him, but I mean, realistically, you haven't seen good football out of this dude in 5 years.
Yeah.
So why even mess with it? You might as well get some of these other guys that are kicking around. I mean, he hasn't played good football since he was with the Texans. So,
yeah. I mean, that whole massage gate really just took him down bad, man.
Well,
he just never.
It started before that, because
Yeah.
his holdout, like he hasn't played good football since he held out.
And then the injuries started to pile up after that, because then he had the shoulder surgery and then the Achilles, and then the Achilles.
Yeah, he's been hurt every year. Obviously there's the off the field distraction. There's the holdout. Like it's been so long since he played good football. I mean, he had one good start and then a few like decent starts and then some bad football in Cleveland. Like that's what he's had since he left the Texans. So, I mean, I don't know why you would kick the tires on him. There's other guys that are around that have played better football more recently than what Deshaun has.
Yeah. Send him to the UFL. Let him be the face of the franchise there.
No, I think he's just done playing football, because it's not like he didn't get the $230 million. Like it's fine.
I'm pretty sure you can live off of $230 million.
Yeah,
well, we could, but athletes, the way they spend money, I don't know how Deshaun Watson spends his money, but
at massage parlors, clearly.
I mean, massages aren't that expensive, though.
Depending on the services he's getting done, it might be.
I mean, you would think 230 million is a lot, but I mean, if you got like
$230 million, I don't care what massage it is, it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
Oh. And that brings us to the top of the hour.
It sure does. Thankfully. So
we started with the thumb up the butt and we end with the massage. So
great. Just a weird show. Thanks for playing along. At least don't thumbs down the show. If you can like it, that would be great. Also subscribe. It does help us bring our content to you. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Came full circle.